Okay, now that we've heard the song, let's go through and check out the tones. So first things first, you're going to see here that we have Archetype Nolly up, and it's a pretty straightforward tone. It's just the overdrive with the drive pulled all the way down, tone pushed up a little bit, level pushed all the way into this. I'm going to guess it's a modded 5150. This is a pretty low output set of pickups in this guitar, so I have the gain a little bit higher, lows and mids drawn back, same with the highs, presence dialed back a bit as well. That's literally all we have on here. And then we have Studio Cabzilla. I'm going to go through and show you each mic set real quick. So first is a Fatboy 2x12 with G12H creambacks with a 57 off axis. This is giving me the depth of my tone primarily. So you can see that right there. Back up a little bit. Now we're going to go to the OS straight 412. And that's with the V30 UK and an SM57 direct on. And that's giving me a little bit more of that upper mid-range push. And then last but not least, I've got the Super Fatboy 212 once again with a V30 UK and the SM57. That's giving me a little bit of that low mid thump as well too, but also giving me some top end information that I'm really enjoying. So what I did was I blended all three of those together, and then we ended up with this tone. So I'm going to actually unsolo all these. And I do have a little bit of processing on this, nothing too crazy. I like to start with a little bit of fatter and thicker guitar tones and actually carve a little bit away. I find just I get the low end that I want doing that. So let's take a quick peek. And I'll turn this off, and then we'll go through one by one and check out what each band is doing. So this is cool. So now let's one by one take each band back in. So first things first, did a low pass filter. I mean a high pass filter. Just cut out some of the lows, and actually added a little bit of a low end bump as well too. Next, I did a low pass filter this time, cutting out the high end, but adding a little bit of a bump at the top as well too to kind of bring back some of the brightness that I cut away. So there's that. Next up, I actually did a cut at about 250. Wanted to cut out some of those low mids that were making it a little bit muddy. Then I've got this other cut at about 680 that was just getting rid of some of the honk that was in the guitar tone. Then I've got this band at 1.5K roughly. That's kind of bringing back some of the mids that I took away. But doing that created a little bit too much harshness at about 2K, so I cut that down. And last but not least, these three little cuts right here are just getting rid of those whistling frequencies that you're hearing. And I'm assuming each cab had a different whistle. That's why I've got to have 3 notches. They were just all super noticeable in the mix. So and as you can see, that kind of hones everything in. Then the only other thing I'm doing a pretty standard thing with the low end. Just whenever the palm mutes hit, that's when this is activated. Just like that. Then I've got a little bit of stereo limiting. And because this guitar ended up having a lot more low end to kind of counteract the fact that it's a little bit spanky sounding because it's actually set up for split coils, I put a little bit of a limiter also to tame in those palm mutes so it didn't hit my master bus a little bit too hard. And then the place that I actually had the most fun on this was bass. So here's the bass tone on it. And this is a program bass. I'm actually using Nuclear by Impact Studios. And I'm using Helix Native. I'm basically just using the dark glass into an SVT. Nothing too crazy. And then once again, I've got some cabs going on here. And I really like the way that 421s sound. But let's give a listen to each cab individually. I thought that gave me a really good high end to it. Not too much, but just enough to give me a little bit of bite and a good solid mid-range as well too. Then the next is the creamback. And then after that, I've got the V30 and an OS 412. And that's all three together. So all together, once again, that mix is sounding like this. And as you can tell, that's really kind of bringing this whole thing to life. Everything gels really well. The guitars and the bass are blending really well together, each having their own spot, but being very complementary of one another. So that's kind of how I've been using GGD cabs, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to show how cool it can sound on bass. So I hope you guys check it out. Definitely go to getgooddrums.com and pick it up. It's not too expensive, and in all honesty, I'm really digging the tones I'm getting out of it. And this isn't a sponsored video. I'm just really enjoying these cabs, so I really just wanted to take a minute to demo this for you guys. So check it out. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to be hearing from you guys soon.